All right, popping back in for our last segment of the night. Make sure you like and subscribe before we jump into this. But we have to. So we've talked about previously the fight on Cinco de Mayo weekend. But we also have a fight that is happening on Tuesday morning, right? Tuesday morning, like in around 5 o'clock in the morning. We was
No, I think it's
Monday
Monday.
morning.
Boxing scene is never very helpful. Boxing
They're
scene
not,
always
yeah.
says, "Oh no, no, it says Monday, May the 6th."
Okay. Monday, May the
Oh
6th. And you have who some people have ranked as the number one pound for pound boxer in the world. Naoi Inoue, who is going and defending his super bantamweight, where he's undisputed. He has IBF, WBA, WBC, WBO championship against Luis Nery, who is 35-1. His one KO loss coming against Brandon Figueroa. He has 27 knockouts, so he carries good power in there. So, but we don't want to assume that this will be another victory for Inoue, but we want to also address the implications for an Inoue victory. Will that help move him past Terrence Crawford in some people's view as the pound for pound fighter? And also kind of talk about what would be the logical next steps for him. So we'll start with the casual Rand. And do you see this as being just another kind of stay busy fight for Inoue, or do you think that Luis Nery poses any kind of real threats to the undefeated record and just the aura of the monster?
I think it's a little bit of both, man. It is to stay busy as defending the belts, but Nery is a real threat. Nery has some power, but unfortunately he has that straightforward come
Yep,
come get you power, So he don't have no head movement. He don't do
yep.
no movement. He ain't a slick fighter or anything. He just want to out power punch your ass, and he's not gonna do that against Inoue. Inoue is just,
Yeah, that'll
you
be
know
a
what I'm saying?
mistake.
Inoue can give it to you however you want it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
However you want
pause, no Diddy.
it. No diddy. So I mean, it's so like as the question said, to answer your question, it is both, man. He's staying busy, but he's sharpening those skills, especially since Nery is a southpaw. He's just going to show another layer of how his masterful skills in the ring, and just gonna just tear him apart.
All right. So Boston Jared, what do you think about this fight? Is this something that American viewers should set their alarm clock for to get up and watch this? If it's just to view a legend in the making?
Only for the hardest of hardcores, not on the East Coast here in Washington, D.C. area, tri-state, Boston. You don't want to be staying up late watching this. You might want to set your recorder, come home and watch it later, man. This is a glorified stay busy fight. And look, Inoue is entitled to that after the tear that he has been on over the last year or so, year and a half. I mean, he is entitled to which is a glorified. This is a voluntary. This is a fight that he's entitled to. I don't expect this fight to be very competitive. I expect Inoue to put on a very, very, very good show, knowing how much better he is than Nery. I expect him to put on a really good show. I expect him to play with Nery a little bit. And when he's done playing with Nery, I expect him to get him up out of there in about 7 or 8 rounds. What's more intriguing for me is what happens for Inoue after this fight. I don't know if you want to get into that now or save that for
No, yeah,
for
we'll save it once we kind of give our pundit picks. I want to let
But
Coach
look, I expect Inoue to get this guy out of there whenever he feels like it. Probably around the eighth round, and give the people their money's worth. And that Tokyo Dome, from what I think is, they've sold out the Tokyo Dome, which is a massive, massive arena. I mean, he's going to give the people a show. I mean, this is a huge event there in the country. He's not going to go out there and stop this guy in one round, even though he probably could. He's going to give the guys their money's worth. In a way, in 8. In a way, in 8.
Yeah, so Inoue has stopped his last 7 opponents. The last person to go the distance with him was Nonito Donaire. This was in 2019, where actually this was a pretty close fight, and he was actually hurt.
But he broke Inoue's orbital bone, right?
Yeah, he kind of took it to Inoue in there, but Inoue was able to show a lot in that fight. So one of the things that Nery talked about was that if Mike Tyson can be beat in the Tokyo Dome, which he was for his first loss against James Buster Douglas, then so can Inoue. Nery also says that Inoue is overconfident, arrogant, and kind of ordinary as a fighter. So, Coach, do you subscribe to this this description of Inoue?
Well, look, man, we know that nowadays mental health is a problem. So I don't know what's going on with Nery. It's some psychological issues. Everything that you said, he just said, it just makes me, want to get this guy committed.
but okay, so Dave, let me ask you this: how do you prepare? You're this guy's a massive underdog. He's being given an opportunity. Now, to be fair, I believe Nery is the number 1. If we look at the rankings, I believe he is the number 1 in one of the sanctioning bodies. That's not the point. The point is, this guy is a massive, massive underdog, Dave, against arguably the best fighter in the sport, maybe behind Bud Crawford, slightly ahead of Bud Crawford. As a trainer, Dave, what is the approach you take psychologically, mentally in camp? You being the realist that you are, you know your fighter's ability, and you know the ability of the guy you're going in there with. What kind of approach do you take?
Okay, so I did check out this cat Nery, right? I checked out a lot of his fights, and listen, man, I'm telling you, he's stuck on fighting how he fights. This cat is probably almost worse than Munguia and how he liked to bang, and the casual one called it on the spot. So here it is. I got a guy that likes to go in there and bang, and again, you got your daggum hands down low. So all I can tell this guy to prepare for somebody anyway, to be honest with you, hey, man, fight your fight, but listen, can you give me your hands up and some head movement, bro? Get your shots off and then let's get going. Even if you stay up in there. This kid fights like he fights. It's just people getting in their mind. Now, if I was an individual that had a fighter that could absolutely listen and implement a solid fight plan, and I was going up against a joker like Inoue, a joker that can bang your internal organs to the point where he push your navel up to your chest and you look like you got like 3 nipples, and this cat can box. The best thing that you can do with a joker that is a double threat is to box him. Try to beat him on the boxing game if you can.
I think that's asking a lot of
power
Nery.
in both hands. Power in
I know.
both hands.
Yeah.
Dave, let me ask you this: if you see this, go ahead, finish.
Yeah, and let me say why I say that. This guy, bruh, honestly, man. I mean, y'all already said it. Power in both hands, man. angles, quick, on the outside, on the inside. It's like you damned if you do, you damned if you don't, you know. But at least we know from a boxer, and if we haven't learned anything from Ali and Holmes, and even to the point of Buster Douglas, when you got a man in front of you, man, if you can work anything behind that jab, you got a higher percentage chance of getting lucky if you're strongly working behind your jab against any other fighter, be a boxer or a brawler. That's why I'm saying a cat like Inoue. But this guy can't do it. You know, remember, that was me.
He can't. He can't. He doesn't.
Right. He can't do it. This guy can't do it. Not from the fights that I looked at. But
He
I'm just
doesn't have the physical tools.
Yeah. You ask
yeah.
a guy that could do it. That's my approach to Inoue. You know.
Okay, so with that said, but let me segue from there.
Okay.
So we talked about, we don't see it in this guy, and then so he's undisputed at super bantam, which is 122 pounds, and we're talking about, you know, things that Inoue
and 118. This is two-time undisputed.
Yeah, exactly, at 118. But right now he's defending 122. So 126 has been, which is featherweight, it's seen as one of the glamour divisions of boxing, right? So when we think about glamour divisions, it's usually like featherweight, welterweight, middleweight, and heavyweight. You know, those are the ones where we've really seen superstars. So there's an opportunity for him to, after securing this victory, which I believe that we all do, and so do the odds maker, who have Inoue as a negative 1,400 favorite and Nery as a plus 800 underdog. What do we think about his possibilities of going up to featherweight and reigning at this? Just think if he becomes under, so him and Terrence Crawford are in this race to become the only 3-division undisputed champion, right? So Terrence Crawford is trying to do it at junior middleweight, you know, at this point. And then so Inoue, and then do we think that that's at the threshold of his power and size? And so do we see any formidable challenges at that weight division? And Boston, we'll go ahead and start with you. Boston.
Start with with me. I'm sorry,
Boston,
my fault. I thought you said Coach Dave. I'm sorry. I'm sitting.
No, that's it. Yeah.
Look, at 126.
Yeah.
I'm partial to Cuban fighters. I've made, you know, I haven't tried to hide that. That being said, I think the one guy that might be able to beat him, well, the two guys might be able to beat him. The two guys might be able to beat him. One of them is Rafael Espinoza, the guy who beat the other guy that I think might be able to beat Inoue at 126. Might be able to beat him, Robesi El Tren Ramirez. Rafael Espinoza, for no other reason other than the fact that he's a 6'1" featherweight or something like that, probably balloons up to 140 plus pounds in their fight night. So yeah, just off of pure strength and physicality, maybe perhaps Rafael Espinoza. Robesi Ramirez is a two-time gold medal winning former champion at this point, who has seen everything in boxing. You don't get through that Cuban amateur system with all them fights and win 2 gold medals. This is the guy that's famous for making Shakur Stevenson cry on national television. You don't get to that point without in the Olympics. You don't get there without having a lot of skill, a lot of experience. This is a guy who maybe, just maybe, has what it takes to push Inoue. And even then, I still, given Robesi's last performance, it's tough for me to favor tough for me to favor him against Inoue at this point.
Oh, favor? I would definitely wouldn't favor him.
Yeah. And look, I'm reaching here just a little bit. Espinoza, who beat Inoue, who beat Robesi recently, is a massive guy for that weight class. And maybe based, he's kind of like the Fundura of 126 pounds. Okay. Maybe Espinoza, based off of his size and his physicality, might be able to push Inoue. But aside from those two guys, you've got Mortajan Akhmadaliev, who's still at 122 pounds, who's in a position to be his mandatory after this fight. Mortajan, who might have the best chance out of the other, might have a better chance than the two guys I just named. Yeah, it's slim pickings, man. We might see Inoue. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, so currently the champions at that weight division, the WBC is Ray Vargas, WBA is Raymond Ford.
No, that's hard though. Yeah, neither one of those guys.
Luis Lopez, and then WBO, Rafael Espinoza.
Yeah, Espinoza, who is what, 6'1" or something like that at featherweight or something like that.
Yeah,
he's a gigantic featherweight.
So, Coach, give us your thoughts on.
Yeah, man. So, and I used to watch these guys a lot. Because you remember the one fight I had, fought 118, 122, 126.
That's right. Yeah, he did.
So I used to watch these guys a lot, bro. And I still love these. I still love these bantamweights and junior bantamweights and all that stuff. So I agree with Jared in terms of the two that might compete them. But I'm a little hesitant on Ramirez because of I've seen him throw that left hand straight only a few times, bro. I just think he's too wide with his punches, and I think he's too high with his guards. That's what gives me cautions with Ramirez against Inoue, bro. You know, who's gonna be there and be on you. Espinosa, hey man, I want to go back and watch this guy, and if he's able to work an uppercut off that jab, then he might be a problem for Inoue. So I have to go back and really,
for the record, he's 6'1".
He is 6'1".
Yeah. Hey. So if he can come back that jab with that uppercut, Inoue might have a little problem. You know what I'm saying? Because unlike, you know, because I hope his skill set is not to where you got a shorter fighter, so you constantly punching down. You're trying to throw that straight brick hand at a shorter fighter who's just bobbing and weaving up under it all the time. I think if he, you know, how those uppercut looks, man, I think it would be determining the fight. So I would probably lean more so towards Espinosa stopping or winning against Inoue. This fight, I agree with everybody else, man. Nery, you know, appreciate him, bro. At Joker come forward, he want to punch, but I don't know why jokers don't think punches are going coming back. That there's a thing in boxing called getting. I don't, you know, but it makes sense to me with all that nonsense that Professor Nim said. This Joker said, you know. We giving out picks, man, because I don't even want to waste a lot of time on this cat, man. Honestly, bro.
Let's talk. Can we talk about this Tank fight?
I feel that it wasn't
the more
much.
interesting.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot. Yeah, that we're gonna give picks. So I think that we could move on to kind of talking about the possibilities of a super fight, which is Tank Davis has been calling for a kind of meeting of the Clash of the Titans in meeting Inoue. So right now, according to ESPN, Inoue is number 2 on the pound for pound ranking, and I believe Tank Davis is number 7. But for the lower weight classes, that these are the top fighters, and actually he might move up because of Haney. But he's talked about fighting Inoue. So the only way that I could see this possibly happen is so Tank is, we'll say he's a lightweight fighter, which is 135 pounds, and Inoue is super bantam, which is 122 pounds. So that's a 13-pound weight difference. So if they kind of came in the middle, that would be around 130. So junior lightweight. Is that a possibility?
You asking Coach?
I'm just throwing it out there.
Hey, look, have you seen pictures of Tank recently training for this Frank Martin fight? He looked like he could still get down to 130. Dave, I know you've got some some connections there to that camp. Do you think he physically can do it? And if he can physically do it, do you think he's willing to do it for a fight with Inoue, which is probably going to pay him more money than the Ryan Garcia fight? If you can imagine that. I mean, this is the aside from Benavidez Canelo, this is probably the second biggest fight in the world of boxing, Inoue versus Tank.
And then, Coach, before you answer, I do want to say that, and Inoue is not going to take any BS as far as Tank coming in and saying like, oh, okay, I'm gonna come in 3 pounds over or something like that. He's gonna have something in the contract that basically says that the fight is null and void if you come over. So he's gonna have to make that weight and be able to perform at that weight.
Yeah. Well, I do think Tank can make 130. You know, if you think about it with Tank, you know, I mean, he'd go here and grab a belt here, then, you know, get going and grab a belt here. You know, I don't know if he's trying to be, you know, undisputed throughout that 130 thing. I think it might be hard for him to hold it. And if he want to pop down, man, and if it's gonna be, you know, Boston know about that money grab and stuff like that. If it's gonna be a big purse or whatever, he want to grab it, that's fine. I think it'll be a great fight. I think Tank has man, I think that'll be a good fight, bro, to be honest with you, man. But I think Inoue would need to be extremely cautious with that aggressiveness against Tank, period.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
And so if he come up there like he normally come up in there, Inoue going to sleep, man. He going to sleep. If Inoue use that and stay on that outside, and already know Tank kind of start slow as well, then I think he got a chance of possibly seriously outpointing Tank. But you come up in there like he normally do and want to be in that joker trying to bang with Tank, he going to sleep, man. Especially after Tank hydrate up, that boy going to sleep.
Yeah. So Casual Ram, I want to say, so you kind of frown a little bit when we talked about the kind of global appeal of this fight. Do you think this is something that will captivate the public's attention?
Well, who, you know what I'm saying? Like, so Inoue was only fought in well, he did fight like once in the US.
He did
right?
fight, yeah, once.
Yeah, he's fought a few times in the US.
But
yeah,
majority
but it was like
been in Japan,
in like small ballrooms. So he fought his last fight in the US, just for the record, and I'll let you continue, was he fought in Virgin Hotels, Las Vegas, and then the Bubble at the MGM Grand. So he didn't even fight in MGM Grand. So these are like small ballrooms.
Yeah. So the majority of his fame has been in fighting in Japan. So the fight Tank, I don't know if Tank is gonna go to Japan for X amount of money. I
30-40 million dollars. You don't think Tank?
I think that fight probably have to happen in Saudi Arabia, for one, and two, man, y'all. I mean, I don't see it happening no time soon. Cause just think, man, he was just at 118, and then you know what I'm saying. How many fights has he had at 122? Like the 2 fights at 122 to get
he fought Fulton. He went to Tapales.
He went to the tournament. So there was a super bantamweight tournament, right? Or was that at the weight below? So he went through.
I think
that was at 118. I think.
I was at 118.
Yeah, so that's bantamweight, and then he only fought like twice at junior featherweight, right? He fought.
Yeah, he's got this is third fight.
This is third fight.
That's his third fight at 122, bro. So y'all talking about him jumping all the way to 130 to meet big ass Tank.
Yeah, but Randy, check this out. And right, look, this is more the business than it is the sport, right? This guy has undisputed 2 different divisions. He's fought every big name that there is to fight in those divisions. There are no big names at 126 pounds. As a hardcore, would I love to see him fight with Obasi
now y'all changing the goalpost with this.
No, but that's part of the decision.
Hold on, because when Canelo become undisputed at 168, those names was bullshit too. but he still became undisputed. So if Inoue can go to 126, I mean 126 and become undisputed, you don't hold that in the same highlight. Is Canelo going at 168 and becoming?
No, that's Canelo. I'm not sure what point you're trying to make with that. The point I'm
No,
trying to make is that
you're just saying that there's no, you know what I'm saying? There's no there's like no name fighters. There's still belts that he going, you know what I'm saying?
right. But Inoue, the difference between
fighting for.
Inoue and Canelo is that Inoue is a competitor. He isn't just some businessman. Inoue appears to be an actual competitor that wants to go out there and challenge and push himself. Where Canelo is happy to get
push himself
minimum
at a limit, risk. Man. You're not jumping from 122 to fight somebody that was fighting at 145 at one time.
You said, so wait, say that again.
You're not jumping from 122 to go fight somebody that who had fought at 145 at one time. That don't make any sense.
Who was there? I'm not. What?
I mean, 140. You know what I'm saying? Tank fought at 140.
I understand
it probably was above 140, right? Like him and Garcia did agree to 143 or something like that.
I get what you're saying, Randy.
I understand pushing yourself to be the better and say you the best, but man, hey, at some point you got to be like, no, that's just a bridge too far.
And you think at this point, this guy with all the accolades and all that, you think that he gets up for a Robeisy Ramirez or Espinoza, or you think he gets up for a Tank Davis? If you offer this guy those 3 days,
so y'all already saying he's like top 2 pound for pound, right?
Yeah.
If he go up to 126 and become undisputed at 126, that's undeniable number 1 pound for pound fighter in the world. So
right, but where's the glory? Where's
what's the glory?
That's 3 times, ain't it?
That make him 3-time undisputed.
Yeah,
we're saying like
your glory right there.
No, it is.
Who is he beating to get those accolades, though? That's
right.
In defense of that, it's like, will he become this global star? So think about Manny Pacquiao, right? So Manny Pacquiao became a global star when he beat who?
Ricky? What, Eric Morales or Barrera?
Marco and Antonio Barrera, right? And for the featherweight and stuff like that, who was and stuff, but he had to do it. He had to do it in Vegas, and then so he was somebody that just kind of captivated the world. Of course,
that's not when he became a global star. I don't agree with that. But go ahead.
I think
so. It wasn't until he started fighting
I think that he
turned De La Hoya and Hatton.
That was like he turned into a superstar that was like transcended. But as far as at a smaller lightweight, that was what made him a star at that point.
There's no barrera for Inoue at 126. There's no barrera.
Exactly. So that's why I was saying, to your point, and in defense of your argument, is like they're saying that, hey, if he goes and becomes undisputed in those 3 weights, then he's already got this glory. And I was saying is like, you have to have the right circumstances and the right partner to mix it up with that will draw, because Marco Antonio Barrera, because of his fights with Eric Morales was a star when it comes to the light, and the way that he took through him. So he needs that type of opponent. All of those guys that I read about, as far as the featherweight champions, they're not a star. They're not anywhere close to being a star. And then, but I do want to say this, that for Tank Davis, he says, and this was at the end of last year in December. He says, I'm not fighting him. He's nowhere, and this is all caps, near my weight. I don't know why this page keeps posting
exactly
like this.
That dude was fighting over 140 that you just mentioned. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, it ain't his fault that there ain't no competition at below 130.
Fair enough. Right. Well, I'll end with this. Let me ask Randy and Dave, because you guys seem the most skeptical. What do you think Inoue would rather do? Fight Tank or try to beat guys at 126 pounds that nobody's ever heard of before.
Well, I mean, now, man, you still going back to that whole loot legacy thing, man. I don't know. In a way, it's still got it. He still got a lot of stuff going on. It seems like this cat is like really, really trying to fight. I can't sit here and say that he's shown enough in his fight game to where this guy's just all about money. This cat trying to fight anybody. So without necessarily knowing, you know, I think this cat would love to be 3-time, undisputed champion, bro. I really do.
I'll be honest.
So I can't sit here and say, because the guy just trying to fight anybody. I don't think he's scared of Tank, but this cat's trying to straight up cement his mark. So I think he would be wanting to get them 3 belts. I'm hoping that because it's be it at 126, whatever, that them cats will fight each other and somebody can hold 2 belts. And I hope he don't have to fight all 4 guys. I would love to see that Joker fight, somebody wants the people that got the belts now in this fight. But I think this man wants legacy. And to me, the guy is a superstar. I think the boxing world knows who this guy is. They know Inoue, bro. I think he's already a straight up superstar, bro, in the boxing world, man. I do. Now, who drawing money and all this stuff and only fighting over there in Japan or wherever, I can't get into that. But I think he is already a superstar, and I think this guy wants to get 3-time, undisputed. And if that happens, man, he better be number 1, bro. And y'all know how I love, right. You know how I love Crawford. So that would be my answer, bro. I think he want these belts, bro.
I think one of the things that would have really helped him is that if Brandon Figueroa, I thought he had an opportunity to really be a star in there, right? So he's a young Mexican American, good looking fighter, and he was on his way, but he lost. Do y'all know who he lost to?
Yeah, he lost to Fulton, didn't he?
Lost to Fulton. I think if he would have beat Fulton, it would have propelled him further close to that. And then I think that would have helped if he would have met up with Inoue to unify or to have an undisputed champion at that weight. I think that would have really helped with his profile. Because unfortunately, Stephen Fulton, who's a Philly fighter, didn't necessarily have a following. And
Philadelphia fighters don't have any kind of following. Philadelphia niggas don't come out and support boxers. They grow out their beards. They eat scrapple. They listen to Cassidy and Meek Mills, I guess. They don't watch boxing though. As much as that city is supposed to be some big historic boxing town, they don't support their fighters at all. They're not interested.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But that's a great point in there. And because that was for us, like that was a fight that we were kind of like, all right, but it didn't kind of captivate. It did captivate the kind of the real boxing fans in there, but he needs that type of fight that's gonna transcend, more than boxing, and then kind of capture the general public's attention. So all right, so we probably need to go ahead and end, but let's just kind of give our take on what we would like to see Inoue do next, if he does secure this win in a dominant fashion, which we're all predicting. Go ahead, and we'll start with you, Casual Ryan.
Vacate, move up 126, start that 126 campaign, the unified 126.
All right, Coach Dave, what say you?
I'm with the Casual Ryan. I'm totally with the Casual Ryan.
Out there. And Boston Jared, don't forget the S.
This is what is he gonna do next?
Yeah, so like we're assuming that he's gonna win this next fight in dominant fashion. He's gonna stop Nery.
I think he fights MJ. I think he fights Motorjan Akhmadaliev back in the Tokyo Dome and defends undisputed. You know, it's been a very, very long time since we have seen an undisputed reign, a real, not this bullshit that Canelo's doing, but a real undisputed reign in the sport where a fighter becomes undisputed and then defends his belts and truly cleans out a division. So I would like to see Inoue, if he's not going to go up and challenge Tank, if that fight's totally out of the equation, I want to see the MJ fight, because the MJ fight was the fight we were supposed to get until Tapales upset MJ. Nobody thought Tapales was going to beat Mortajan, but he lost to Tapales. Went in there to this thing and beat Mortajan. The fight we were supposed to get was supposed to be Fulton versus Mortajan. That was the fight everybody was talking about, because those are the two belt holders at 122. Fulton was unified, and you had Mortajan that was unified, and it was teased that Fulton was going to cross the street, try to undisputed against Mortajan, but Mortajan loses to Tapales. Inoue beats Tapales, or Inoue beats Fulton. Well, I forget how it went down. Anyway, Mortajan is the fight that I'd like to see.
So Boston, man,
wow.
it make sense though. I understand you talking about the defense, and the reason that is not no unified people defend is because, one, you got to pay 4 sanctioning bodies for the fight. So what makes more sense? You sit there defending every fight, you paying 4 sanctioning bodies, or give all of them up, hold no belt, go up the fight for a belt, and because his name, he's going to get that money. The money that's coming to him is going to be all his. Like, he can drop all the belts, have no belts, but the next fight, he's still going to get the same money. He's going to demand the same money. So you lose more money by defending the fights than going up and trying to compete for a new belt.
Yeah, I mean, Cam asked me what I wanted to see. He didn't ask me what made more sense.
Oh.
So,
yeah, I mean,
unless I'm right, isn't that what you asked, Cam? Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Again, I don't have to
like
pay
what you want to see.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't have to pay sanction fees to Randy's point.
It's true.
I don't get percentages of purses. All I get to do is sit here and watch. And if I want to pick and choose what I want to watch, I'd rather watch him fight Mortajan than
go up to 126.
Really. Yeah, than really any of them guys. I think Mortajan probably even has a better chance than guys like Robesi Ramirez and the guy Espinosa. That's a much more exciting fight. Mortajan, who I believe is a gold medalist or a silver medalist, former unified guy, that's a decent fight. Mortajan's got pop too, man. That's a guy that can really change that fight with one shot. He really can. I'm not saying he's going to beat Inoue, but it's a much more compelling fight than Rafael Espinosa, who nobody had heard of until he beat Robesi Ramirez.
Hey, just a little history and stuff though, and somebody can Google it and check it out. But yeah, I mean, you know how I back when I had them young fighters and them low weight class fighters, and I was chasing cats like Rigondeaux, stuff like that. And in terms of to your point about just seeing a cat hold at that belt, it might be Rigondeaux at 122 or super bantamweight. It might be Rigondeaux that was the longest reigning bantamweight champion, brother. And I think he did it for maybe 4 or 5 years.
Finito
Lopez, at super bantamweight,
Lopez
I'm telling you,
got like 20 defenses or something like that. What was Ricardo Lopez's reign at one? Didn't he fight it? I think Ricardo Lopez.
Look, I'm trying to tell you, bro. I'm at the bantamweight. Probably the most longest reigning joker was 4 years, and that's I think it was Rigondeaux. I remember chasing this dude, guy. I'm telling you.
And I remember you had asked me about that at one point when you were working with that one guy. About Rigo. Yeah, that would have been a mistake for y'all to fight that Rigo at that time too. Rigo was.
And look, man,
Rigo was
what's it? Hey, Pedrosa, not Pedro. And I think Pedraza might be the one at featherweight, bro, with about like 8-year run, 7-year run, something like that, bro.
You talking about Jose Pedraza, who Tank beat?
Nah, I can't. Eusebio, something like that. Usbo Pedraza, or something like that. But this is old school stuff though, bro. You probably was 2 years old, bro. This cat was like from 1975. You know, you young with it, bro.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's why I said Finito Lopez at that weight class. I think Finito Lopez had like 18 defenses down there or something like that at one of those weights. I'm not sure if it was 118 or 112. BoxRec has the shittiest search engine known to man. You have to spell these motherfuckers' names exactly right. Otherwise, the names won't pop up.
Well, just put in the longest reigning undisputed champions for every division, something like that.
Undisputed. Okay.
Yeah,
right.
undisputed, because that's what we're trying to go for. You know, you said you wanted to see him really defend and fight that cat. So I was just kind of thinking back in my mind. I think it might have been Rigondeaux. And then there was this cat from back when I was young, like
Rigo was never.
Huh?
Rigo was never undisputed though.
I don't think he was undisputed either.
Well, maybe he just had a belt then, but I remember that cat.
Yeah,
for a long time,
the
bro.
longest reigning champions. Yeah.
Nobody wanted to fight Rigo.
So I'm gonna kind of end this. I'm gonna throw in a bit of a monkey wrench. He's got to win his fight, but I would like to see Inoue after he destroys his opponent Luis. His name is escaping me now. The guy that he's fighting coming up.
Nery?
Yeah, Luis Nery. And then I would like to see him go up, and I want to see him fight against Raymond Ford. But Raymond Ford needs to win his fight against Nick Ball, which is going to be at the Riyadh. I think is a part of that. But that's a good American fighter, and I think it's a way to. I think it would help for him to kind of introduce himself or reintroduce himself to the American public. I think that he's just got too many skills and too much power for Raymond Ford, but I think it'll be a fight-friendly, it'll be a fan-friendly fight, and it'll give the public an opportunity to kind of see the tools that he actually brings into it. And then I think that will start his reign as the undisputed featherweight champion. And then from there, we'll see. But I think that his size and power really will probably max out at 126, possibly 130. I wouldn't want to see him as a challenging any lightweights at this time, but I think that 126, that he still has his explosiveness, his power, and then his size wouldn't be much of a detriment to him in fighting his opponents.
Cecilia Brækhus, longest reigning undisputed champ in boxing, reigned for 5 years, 337 days.
What weight class?
Cecilia Brækhus came to an end when she suffered the first professional fight, losing to Jessica McCaskill. So McCaskill's a pretty big girl, right? So that must have been in the 140s. It welterweight, yeah. Welterweight.
Nah, man, I'm talking about just hey, look, do super bantamweight, bro. 120, do super bantamweight.
All right, somebody else is searching.
Super
bantam.
I can do it.
Go ahead.
Super bantam. So the longest reigning undisputed champion.
Yeah, that's what I would Google.
List of undisputed world champions. Who's the longest reigning heavyweight champ? Full list of.
That's Joe Louis right there, ain't it? Heavyweight got to be Joe Louis. That joke was champ about like 11 years. Probably 11 years and about 7 months, something like that, bro.
Yeah, the problem is because of the sanctioning bodies. You had 2-belt undisputed guys, you had 3-belt undisputed guys, and then you've got these more recent 4-belt undisputed guys. So if it was in the 70s, that was a guy, because that was, guys like Joe Canzoneri, he was a 3-division undisputed champ. Bob Fitzsimmons, I believe, was also, and those guys those guys fought and defended those belts. Bob Fitzsimmons, Joe Canzoneri, there's a few other guys too. I gotta go and look. I know I'm the young guy on the crew, but I'm a 3rd generation fan here. My grandfather was out there watching. He's watching these guys. Some of these guys fight. Man, I used to hear about these guys all the time. Did
And
you
then-
find
Well,
it,
you
Ken?
still,
And then,
you still wear
I'm getting to, and remember that Super Bantam it wasn't a part of the original weight classes, right? Remember there was only around. Did I lose y'all? Looks like y'all frozen. Oh, great.
Yeah,
My
like
bad. Yeah, my internet likes like to switch the. I'm sorry about that. What I was saying is that remember with Super Bantamweight, it wasn't one of the original weight classes.
Oh, and see they damn, see that's it. Yeah. We'll
And
have to
that's
come back and
another thing.
revisit this because it's getting late here. I gotta get this dog out.
But no, let me see. I'm right here though. So Super Bantam, it says that Inoue is the longest. But let me make sure. I don't.
All right, maybe this is something we can revisit on the
Yeah,
next.
we'll have to
on,
come
on,
to
on,
yeah.
a-
So
on, a-
like
on the next
for
show.
like
We'll say, yeah,
Rigendale doesn't, but it seems like maybe his reign now, but
it's not Rico.
it looks like don't there, but we'll come back to it though. All right, so we're kind of getting into the weeds a little bit, but
yeah.
we want to go ahead and like sign off. Make sure that you like and subscribe. This is your boy Professor Nelms. I'm signing off for Boston Jared,
Peace.
Coach Dave, Casual Rand.
Peace.
All right, and we will see y'all next week. Thank y'all for rocking with us.
Peace.